What's good, people? Like I told you, when I get back, it's videos, and we're about to talk boxing. And look who is here. Look who's in the building. G-Man is here. Please do me a favor before we start. I need you to subscribe to his channel. The link is in the description. What you on, sub-wise?
Nearly 11k.
Nearly.
I want to get 20k as soon as I can.
Well, there you go then. It's going to get past 11k. That's a fact. All right, let's just jump straight in. Conor Benn.
Chris Eubank.
It's back. He's back, isn't he? He's fighting. It's happening. It looks like it will be Chris Eubank Jr. Those are the reports that have been widely sort of speculated in the last couple of days. I don't know where to start on this one.
That's out of left field for me as well.
Yeah.
Like, I was under the impression that Smith Eubank 2 was a done deal.
Yeah.
And that we were getting probably Pacquiao or Brook for Conor Benn. So to hear this be talked about, and it's like, looks like it's on the verge of being announced for June, it's like, that's out of left field.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it's at the full 160 this time.
Yeah.
The full 160.
No rehydration
no rehydrations,
clause.
no catch weights.
Yeah.
And Chris Eubank Jr., I'm convinced that Liam Smith loss, the weight cut for the Conor Benn fight, played a part in it. Mm-hmm. So now we're talking June, 6 months. He's going to be fresh.
Yeah.
Maybe not the fresh on that scale, but he is not going to have back-to-back weight cuts. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
I felt like there was almost a built-in excuse for Eubank to go into the Liam Smith fight again. That elbow fiasco. Whether or not you believed it or true, but I thought, okay, he's going to sit down at the press conference and he's going to say, you elbowed me and that's the reason why. So I thought it was already there. It was going to sell out the AO Arena again. I was talking about Anfield, but I thought it's a big fight, big money. I'd love to know what kind of check Eddie put in front of Eubank for him to do a U-turn on the Liam Smith fight. Because again, ego-wise, you want to kind of avenge your defeat and say, okay, we're going straight to Ben. It must be big money we're talking about here.
It must be crazy money that these are getting.
Yeah.
Because I was under the impression as well, Chris Eubank Jr. was determined to get this wrong road.
Yeah.
And just to do a 180, and apparently he's not even signed for Liam Smith now, straight into this, it's like, this must be big.
Yeah.
This must be big.
I do feel sorry for the UK fight fans. Look, I don't even know if the UK fight fans have an appetite for Eubank Ben right now because of the situation with Ben and Eubank losing. It isn't the same as it was when it was going to happen in October. But the fact is, it was going to happen in the UK. It was going to happen in the O2 Arena. It was going to sell out. Now, all of a sudden, yes, they can watch it because it's the same time zone. Now it's going to the Middle East. And that's kind of unfortunate for UK fight fans.
The hype for the fight in October was big.
Massive.
Everyone was talking about it. It was big. I don't know if it's going to have the same appeal this time around because of everything that's happened. Eubank losing, Conor Benn's having his issues. And the fact that it's going to be, I think, in the UAE.
Yeah.
I mean, it's expensive to get over there.
Yeah.
It's not going to have the same draw that it did back in October if we'd had it. But saying that, as I said, they done this for the fight when it was in October.
Yeah.
Eubank Ben. Yeah. Sell that.
And now there's even more hatred, isn't there?
Oh, there's even more needle.
Eubank's going to accuse him of being a drug cheat. Ben's going to say, I'm not. He's going to say you got knocked out in your last fight. There's a lot
There's
now.
even more needle now.
Yeah.
Eubank coming off the back of a loss. Conor Benn is going to just go to town with that. Conor Benn having his issues. Eubank is going to go to town with that.
Oh my
These
God.
guys are going to be... The press conference will be crazy.
I don't know if they've even thought about doing a face-to-face like I did last time, the face-offs. But this is going to be one where you need security.
That's a rated R.
That's a rated R. That's almost like one of the ones where your parent has to click on the YouTube and sign in to let you watch it because it's going to be vicious.
Age-restricted YouTube video.
It's going to be that, isn't it? It's going to be that. Of the options that they were saying Ben had, because look, Ben, we knew he was going to come back, right? They were talking about Pac-Man, and I've just gone onto Twitter and I've seen that Pac-Man's manager said, like, you know, what's going on, eye emojis. They was talking about Broner, wasn't going to happen. There was talks about Kell Brook. So of those four options, is this the best one? So Eubank, Pacquiao, Broner, Brook.
I would say yeah, because at the end of the day, you fight Pacquiao, who's been retired for over 2 years in his 40s now.
Yeah.
The fans were not going to accept that. And if he beat him, he was never going to get the accolation of beating Manny Pacquiao because we know that's not the Pacquiao. Again, with Kell Brook, out of the ring for over a year, had his issues. You know, we all know about that.
Yeah.
And I think that will probably play into it as well.
You're going to get no points for beating Brook at this stage.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, what does that mean, a Brook win?
No, it does. It's not what it was 6-7 years ago. And again, with Broner, but Broner's just signed with Don King. That says it all.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of the best of a bad choice, if that makes sense.
No, this is the best of the bad bunch.
It's like a bad bunch. It's a case if you got to pick one,
then
there you go.
Yeah. I don't see the merits of fighting unless we're being told that Ben wants to maybe campaign at 154 and he's far too small because I've met those guys. Why are you going to 160? Like, what's the want here? And even for your body, like if you're a 147 guy and then you go to 160, your body's not going to want to go back down to 147 for fight night. No. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna. He's not the biggest 147, Ben, but it's not going to want to squeeze itself back down to 147.
It makes no sense to me either, the 160 as well. But maybe it's a case of, right, test the water.
Yeah.
He's been very confident on Twitter saying it's a 4-round job.
I've seen that.
I've seen that. He said it's a 4-round job. His fans seem to agree with that. Maybe it's kind of thinking, okay, look, win-win. I beat him. I've beat Chris Eubank Jr. at 160. I can go back down to welterweight.
Yeah, go back. Yeah.
Or if I lose,
I lost to a guy
at middleweight. I'm not a middleweight.
Yeah.
I'm a average size welterweight. So there you go.
Yeah,
so it's a built-in excuse, for want of a better word. Whereas you lose to Pacquiao, you lose to Brook. I know it sounds mad, you lose to Pacquiao, but it's not the Pacquiao.
No, you lose to this version of Pacquiao. That's the problem.
You lose to Pacquiao, you lose to Brook. God forbid you lose to Broner. I mean, there's no real coming back from that.
I've said this, and look, I can understand how people are like, Anna, you work for the Zone, be careful. But I'm gonna be brave with my take on it. Why are they going with this route with Ben? I'm so confused by it all because again, the names that we just mentioned are all guys that are kind of done at the end of their careers. Eubank's just lost as well. When there are guys out there that I just feel like, in terms of a progression, Alexis Rocha is out there. Eko Usman is out there. Even a Chris Congo is out there. I know he lost to Eko Usman. Blair Cobbs, I know he's crazy, but he can sell a fight. Mickinson's out. So these are guys where, if you're taking that steady road to becoming a future world champion, and that's what he says he will be, those are the fights that make sense for me. I don't, Rashidi, there's fights out there. I don't understand these weird kind of fighting guys that are past their best because they make a lot of money. I mean, he's not short of a few quid, is he?
No.
Weird.
It's a strange one to me. Look, my only theory on this is that his team have seen something in the gym. Maybe they feel he needs more work, and that having these fights that on paper look good, will help bring him on rather than put him in there. Look, I'm sure they'd have all the confidence in the world he could beat Michael McKinson, but the question is how good will he look doing it? And if he struggles with McKinson, maybe gets dropped, wins a laboured points decision, a lot of fans would be like, oh, he's not that good.
It's an interesting argument, this is, because obviously a Eubank fight, all the fights we just mentioned, all of them make way more money than the Mickinson, Eko Usman, Blair. All of them make way more money. So there's an interesting argument now, like, is a boxing career more about that, making the money, even at this early stage in your career, as opposed to maybe going for titles? Because if you're an Eko Usman, you've got a British, you've got a Commonwealth, you've got an IBF International, I think he's got, but he's making nowhere near the money Conor Benn's making. No. So maybe when it's all said and done, Conor's doing it the right way by taking these fights to just make money. I don't understand,
Get in and get rich.
Get in, get rich, get out.
Get in, get rich, get out. Look, not everyone is good enough to win a world title, but if you can make life-changing sums of money,
without even having world title
fights, I mean, you're doing something right.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, Chris Eubank Jr. is a good example.
Good shout. I don't think anyone said Chris Eubank Jr. is world level.
No,
but he's made more money than world champions.
He's had one world title shot, which he lost. Yeah, and he's made more. And
he's been an IBO champion.
He's been brilliant Intercontinental champion, WWE, same thing.
Yeah.
But he's made more money than a lot of world champions.
Yeah. Who do you think wins at 160?
Oh, mate. I would have said Chris Eubank Jr. going back into October, even with the rehydration clause. But when a fighter's been knocked out like that, I wouldn't have the confidence to pick him. I probably would go with Conor Benn. But saying that, it's over a year since Ben's fought. He fought April last year against Chris Van Heerden.
Wow.
Chris Van Heerden, April last year, right, was the last time. I think it was early April he fought. Right, so if we're talking June, that's the longest stretch of inactivity his whole career.
15 months.
15 months thereabouts. So we don't know how he's going to look coming up to 160, having to deal with everything he's dealt with in the last year. It's going to be interesting to see how he looks. But
so this is straight 160 without a rehydration clause, no cap. So Eubank can walk into that ring whatever size he wants.
He can walk into that ring apparently whatever size he wants. It's a 160, and I guess that's the compromise Team Ben would have to make. Especially given how it went last time. They have to make that compromise.
Yeah. Based on that, it's a difficult one to pick.
That's a trickier one now.
That's a trickier one, yeah. Because, I mean, look.
If it was 157, 100% Ben.
Yeah.
With a rehydration, Ben.
Ben's too hungry, too vicious, isn't he?
But if he can just do a normal weight cut. normal
Eubank
rehydration.
can come into that ring 180, 175, one something. But then again, Ben's a big dude as well, you know. Ben ain't small.
But Conor Benn, I don't think he's ever been in. Eubank Jr. is not heavy-handed, but he's a fair puncher.
Yeah.
He certainly hits harder than Chris Van Heerden and Chris Algieri. How will Conor Benn react to that?
Yeah, and how will Conor Benn react as well to being in the ring? And people will say he spars guys, but how will he react to carrying that kind of weight in the ring? And when you see Chris, he's very explosive in those little bursts. Can he be that explosive walking into the ring at 175? Because he's going to put weight on after the weigh-in as well. So interesting. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I will watch it. I will probably go and cover it for DAZN. But I do find it interesting that this looks like it is going to happen, people. Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. The Middle East. We're hearing a date of around June, July. Nothing confirmed yet, but I expect it to be announced in the next couple of days. What do you make of it? Leave your comments below. As always, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you 100% subscribe to this man's channel, G-Man, because he's come all the way from Ireland to film with me. And that alone deserves at least 100 subscribers just from this video. Commitment. I mean, come on, that's super commitment, right? That is commitment indeed. G-Man, as always, my man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you.